SNY.
Get your New York sports here.
And welcome back to Citi Field, where we do not have a power outage. It's only the the lighting people flexing their ability to turn the lights on and off. It's become a big thing in ballparks.
Particular skill.
Well, used to be you couldn't do that. Now they can, so they do.
Remember our first opening day at SNY, and the broadcast got shut down right before we went on the air. Remember that?
No,
I do.
Yes, I was in the studio.
Yep.
You guys weren't on.
We weren't on. They right before the game time, it shut us down.
I remember our second spring training broadcast, the one you and I did from Vero Beach.
Yes,
where we couldn't show commercials.
Didn't do commercials, and we sat when the water moccasins were in the rain, and they were all over the place.
Remember in the minor leagues, it used to take 45 minutes for the lights to come on.
That's right. Well, it was great to have a conversation with Howie Rose. Howie getting ready for the game. The SNY's putting together a terrific documentary. Howie Rose put it in the books. Wow. I mean, they really have to work hard to come up with the title, right? August 18th, it'll air right after the postgame show. And you'll not want to miss that.
It's a little sobering for us, though, that the best thing we'll do tonight already happened.
Well, how do you know?
I have a feeling.
Well, the Marlins are in time to start a 4-game series. Monday's starting lineup for Miami after they swept the Phillies the last 3 days. Otto Lopez, second to Luis Ariz in batting average in the major leagues. Griffin Conine has been red hot since coming back from the injured list. Xavier Edwards and Liam Hicks, 7 good years. Heriberto Hernandez has been red hot. Marlins have become a force to contend with. They went from 64 wins to 79 last year, and this year threatening to make the postseason.
Hernandez, 8 home runs in the month of July. Toyota numbers for McClain, but more importantly, his last 5 starts. 30 innings pitched, only 4 earned runs allowed, 1 single home run with 36 bunch-outs.
And your Genesis Mets defense, you've got Brady all over the place. He's back at first base. His 9th start at first base, kind of showcasing Brady's versatility. Simeon at second base with the 2 gold gloves. Of course, Lindor a platinum at short, as well as a gold glove. And there's Brett right there.
Still a possibility for some more showers as we move through the evening, but it's not raining right now. Rain delay will be a little over an hour before the game gets underway. Your Home Depot working on a win. McClain, his last 5 starts, has been nearly impeccable. Some unearned runs have cost him, but the earned run average is sparkling at 1.20.
Well, he was part of the problem against the Dodgers. 2 double plays should have probably been turned. But they weren't against the Dodgers, where you got to be impeccable against that team.
And facing the Marlins for the second time, he faced them the first series here when the Mets swept the Marlins, a 3-game series, but he had control issues in that game. Walked 5 in 5 innings. Mets won the game though 10-1. What has been particularly noticeable about McClain lately is his ability to get deeper into games. Unlike that start against Miami, he's got at least 6 innings in 7 consecutive starts. First Mets starting pitcher to do that since Sean Manaea in the second half in 2024.
And early in that streak, Gary, he had rough first innings, and he steadied the ship, showed a lot of poise.
Liam Hicks leads off. He's DHing tonight. McClain's first pitch is a fastball away for ball 1, and we're underway. Hour and 6-minute rain delay. 72 degrees at game time. Hicks in his second season after being picked in the Rule 5 draft. He had a good first season. He's had a great second season. They've used him at catcher. They've used him at first. They've used him at DH.
Got 60 RBI on the season. Leads the Marlins.
He had a stint on the injured list with some back issues about a month ago, and since coming back he has resumed what has been a terrific sophomore season. Got 2 home runs against the Mets already this year. And McLean walks him on 4 pitches to lead off the game.
Now the Marlins are leading the National League in stolen bases, tied for the Major League lead, but Hicks has only got 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts.
Now Xavier Edwards, the switch hitting second baseman, 10th in the National League and batting at .291. Their middle infielders have just been remarkable. He lays on a beautiful bunt. McLean uses the glove and a close play at first, and he barely got him. A sacrifice for Edwards, moving Hicks along to second. Probably should have barehanded that ball. Edwards really gets down the line well.
Well, when you got a strong arm, it makes up for it. He just threw a bullet over there.
You either barehand it, Gary, or go down there with 2 hands, so the transfer is quicker. But when you got 95, that just gets it.
So Hicks at second with 1 out, and now Otto Lopez, who leads the major leagues in hits, 138 hits already this year, batting at .329, and he takes a fastball for a strike. One thing that's happened with Lopez this year is he's been taking more pitches, and this Marlins team in general has been good at not chasing as much as they have in the past.
He is a line drive hitter. He has 27 doubles, 7 triples to go with the 9 home runs. He's driven in 50 runs. I watched this team play a couple games, Gary, when I was off last week, and just to watch him at the plate. And boy, I tell you what, he is a tough out. He's a line drive hitter, hits the ball where it's pitched.
Now, Lopez's progress has been remarkable. Last year, hit .246 with a .672 OPS. This year it's up to .853, and see what he's done against fastballs from right-handers. Pretty
Most
good
hits.
for a right-hand batter.
Sorry, Gary, most hits and most doubles.
Yeah, they got off the scrap heap on waivers from the Giants a couple of years ago. And McLean missed inside with a changeup, and it's 1-2.
That used to be the highest compliment you could get. Tough out. Oh, you are a tough out.
Yes. You think in terms of Tony Gwynn, Pete Rose.
Now Lopez hits one softly foul.
So many hitters today are upright hitters. They just stand up straight up and down. Look at Otto Lopez. He's in the crouch, ready to pounce.
It used to help your strike zone, not anymore.
Right.
Now that they measure every player to determine their strike zone. Ricky Henderson used to crouch and try and make that strike zone as small as possible.
Lenny Dykstra, we talked about him yesterday. He used to do that as well.
Yes.
1-2 from McLean. Punches that fastball foul.
Tough out. I think by what we've just seen, a walk by Hicks, a sacrifice bunt, Lopez is up. This is the kind of series you're going to play all 4 games. You better be ready to defend having the ball put in play.
Lopez hitting .315 with runners in scoring position this year. And the breaking ball popped up, and foul ground comes Beatty. And he's got it 2 down.
And that curveball backed up inside. Wasn't meant to be there. And just crowded Lopez and got him to pop up.
So 2 out hit still at second, and now Kyle Stowers. Stowers has had a bit of a come down this year after a huge season with the Marlins last year. He was an all-star, hit 25 home runs, OPS over 900. He's the one guy on this team who's a big swing and miss guy, but he's also the biggest power source on this team.
Yeah, he's got 116 strikeouts, Gary, thus far. We got that home run swing. That pitch up above the belt is going to give him trouble.
And curveball just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's interesting about Stowers, though, is that there's a lot of swing and miss in his game against the breaking ball. But when he does connect, he usually hits it out of the park.
Well, you make a mistake, and he's one of those kind of hitters. You got to be careful.
He came over from Baltimore in the trade for Trevor Rogers a couple of deadlines ago, and it's been a good deal for both teams. Rogers has excelled for the Orioles, and Stowers has certainly made his mark with the Marlins.
Well, you see it by more and more hitters, Keith. They're left-handed hitter, Stowers. Left-handed index finger off the bat. It's got to be something being taught because too many hitters do it.
Yeah, I see it, Gurney.
2-2 from McClain. It's bounced foul. Clayton McCullough now in his second season managing the Marlins.
First base coach for all those years with the Dodgers, but before then, a manager of the year in the minor leagues with the Blue Jays.
McClain trying to put this top of the first to bed. And Stowers watches a changeup blown away, and it's 3-2. Heriberto Hernandez, who's been the hottest power bat in the Marlins lineup, is on deck. And Stowers watches the breaking ball low for ball 4, so McClain walks a pair in the opening inning. Heriberto Hernandez has 16 home runs this year, including a walk-off grand slam against the Mets in Miami.
Oh, dead central. I remember that. Yes. That's a long time ago.
He had some big hits against the Mets down the stretch last year when the Mets were faltering. Lifetime now 381 against the Mets. 9 RBIs and just 21 career at-bats against the Mets. Hernandez has 16 extra base hits in July. That's more than anybody in the major leagues. And he takes fastball at the knees for a strike from McClain. And it's another guy that got off the scrap heap. He was in the Texas and Tampa Bay organizations. Never got a shot in the big leagues. Marlins signed him as a minor league free agent. Now in his second season. And is Alvarez challenging that call?
I think
Apparently he is.
It's going to be a strike, too.
Plate umpire is Ben May tonight. He ruled the pitch high, but it got plenty of the top of the zone, and it's 0-2.
You're going to come up with a name for that. When it's challenged and the ball is completely in the rectangle.
Oh, let me see here.
A no-brainer?
Little Dick Tracy. You got to come up with something.
We got a guy stepping out when the airplanes go over.
Oh, like me?
Like an old Keith and Shea moment.
Oh, yes. I used to do it just to get the pitcher out of his rhythm. Try to, anyway.
0-2 from McClain. And he struck him out with high heat. So McClain works around a couple of walks by fanning Hernandez. Sorry, Keith. That's come to bat in the bottom of the first with no score. The 102 hits already this year. Brett Beatty playing first and hitting sixth. Jorge Blanco down in the 8th hole. The third time since 2020 that he's hit that low.
Well, Yuri Perez, after he came off the disabled list in late June, ERA in 6 starts, 1.75, whip 0.86, and he's developed into a little bit of an Alcantara clone, using that two-seam sinker a lot more.
He's been Alcantara's shadow ever since he arrived with the Marlins. A.J. Ewing leads off, 5 for 10 over his last 3 games, and takes that first sinker down in the strike zone for ball 1.
Yeah, he's 6'8". When I think of 6'8", I think of J.R. Richard. That's exactly how tall J.R. was.
Perez still just 23 years old. He had Tommy John surgery in 2024, missed the entire season, came back June of last year, and you know, for guys coming back from Tommy John, usually that first half season or so, they're getting back into the groove, and Perez appears to have found it. The Mets saw that when they faced him in Miami back in May. He was brilliant that night, but 6 1/3, allowed a run on 2 hits.
Yeah, only a Soto solo.
The only time he pitched here, though, last year, he got knocked out in the first inning. Gave up home runs to Soto and Nimmo. Charged with 5 runs. It's only his second start on the Citi Field mound. Ewing takes the breaking ball down, and it's 2-2.
So Keith, J.R. Richards was 6'8", but he was a much bigger athlete than Perez, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was more filled out. He was just a big mountain of a man. And, you know, talking about your stride to home plate, I mean, JR was the only, he was a drop and drive guy right over the top. Had a great, one of the best sliders I ever faced. But he was one of those guys that he felt like he can slap you in the face when he released the ball. It was that, you know, that he extended so far towards the plate.
And Ewing goes down on strikes. 99 from Perez for the first out.
Well, the defense here at the Tri-State Chevy Dealers Marlins defense. Marcy has been their center fielder pretty much all year long. Got the goal there to show for it. I love the 2 guys up the middle in the infield, Lopez and Edwards. They give them solid defense up the middle. Big strong arm in right field with Griffin Conine.
Here's Francisco Lindor.
The Marlins outfield defense has not been good this year, but they seem to make incredible catches against the Mets. And
that's true, especially Marcy, who is extremely low rated on defensive runs saved, but the metrics are mixed on him. 0-2 to Lindor.
And they play very, very deep as a group.
Well, they've made 70 errors as a team, and that's 11th in the National League. The Mets have 72 as a team. The Nationals lead Major League Baseball with 88. And that's, oh my gosh.
Perez ahead on Lindor 0-2. And he goes down swinging. Good change up by Perez for the second out. So Marcy may be the lowest rated center fielder in the game in defensive runs saved, but you couldn't prove it by Carson Bench.
That was right.
He made 2 in one game to rob Bench of extra base hits.
I think that first play led off the game. Bench led off the game, and he got robbed.
So here's Bichette with 2 out and nobody on. And he flies one to shallow right field. Coming on is Conine. And Yuri Perez has a 1-2-3 opening inning. No score after 1 at Citi Field. Griffin Conine leads off the second inning for Miami. Conine's had a lot of big hits lately for the Marlins. He tore a hamstring in April, had to have surgery, and missed more than 2 months, but since coming back, he has really been hot. He's only had 112 at bats this season. He has been a difference maker. He is a second-generation Marlin. His dad, Jeff, was known as Mr. Marlin, which I guess makes Griffin Master Marlin.
Master Marlin.
Late on the fastball from McClain, 2-2. Ben May calling the balls and strikes tonight. Brennan Miller, Brock Ballou, second straight series. And Chris Conroy, the crew chief, is the third.
That's no relation to Cat Ballou.
Brock Ballou. Brock Ballou. And the breaking ball in for a call strike 3. So McClain throwing a lot of curveballs early on. That's the second strikeout.
Well, especially against Conine. He loved the fastball, so he countered with the breaking ball. And this one taken right on the outside corner. Backdoor variety. Left-handed hitters hate that pitch. Well, not hate, but you know what I'm saying.
Average curveball rotations this year for McClain over 3,300. Early in this game, he's over 3,400, which is the highest spin curveball in baseball. There's Jacob Marcy. He had a nice rookie season offensively for the Marlins last year, but this has been a whole different year for him. Went from an 842 OPS as a rookie to 610 this year. with his fastball on the inside edge, and it's 1-2 to Marcy. Marcy, one of several Marlins on the lineup who started out in the San Diego organization. Marlins got him for Luis Arise 2 years ago. It looks like Arise might be on the move again.
Yes.
From what we're hearing out of San Francisco.
And leading the league in hitting now.
Well, the Giants have very few pieces that anyone wants. He's one.
Yeah, they're a bit of a mess, aren't they?
Well, the latest with Harrison Bader, you've been reading about this?
I just sent Gary this link. It's
I mean, Bader had plantar fasciitis, and then he re-injured the foot riding his scooter into a fire truck.
What?
Yeah. 2-2. Late on the fastball. And the Flames got 3 straight strikeouts.
Well, the one thing about McClain and that curveball, he's kind of gone down percentage-wise on the sweeper. He's upped his use of the curveball, and by throwing that curveball more, he's getting better control of that pitch, and it really sets up his fastball, especially deep in the count.
There's Graham Pauley, a check swing grounder right over the bag. That's a fair ball. It's going to roll down to the tarp. Pauley takes a turn, but Ewing gets to it quickly and holds him to a single. That's the first hit of the game, a check swing grounder over the bag.
Pauley had no clue where the ball was. There goes in the box. There goes looking upstairs. He's looking down the line. I guess should go since it's fair.
Well, in fairness, he hasn't had a lot of hits this year. So.
No. There goes the no-hitter.
So Pauley's at first with 2 out. Now the rookie catcher, Joe Mack. Mack's shown some pop early in his big league career. 186 at bats. Already has 10 home runs.
He's been a difference maker on the defensive side. He has really settled down this pitching staff. They enjoy throwing to him.
He had 9 of his 10 home runs against right-handers.
Grew up in the Buffalo area, Williamsville, New York. Well, the teams have traded sweeps so far. The Marlins swept in Miami. The Mets swept in New York. Mets scored 2 runs in the 3 games in Miami and 25 in the 3 games in New York. Very different look. Owen Case is on the injured list right now. He could be back as early as tomorrow. We'll open up some playing time questions. Little looper behind third, and that'll go foul untouched.
Boy, right now it looks like through the first time through the order here, it's just like McClain is just tying up the Marlin hitters. Like they, when someone's throwing hard and you're getting beat, you've got to get a little more ready to hit.
When you look at the Marlins' numbers, they hit the secondary pitches better than they hit fastballs.
He wiggles his bat too. He holds it.
And he picks off his 3rd man of the season. Not walking off the mound yet to see if the Marlins challenge, but Pauley gets picked off to end the inning, barring an overturn.
Well, he didn't get there.
Close.
Well, I don't think you can overturn it. No.
Well, the Marlins are challenging it.
OUT. Go get your. He's going to have to go get his glove and get out in the field.
Well, McClain does a great job of controlling the running game. Pauley's not a guy who should be wandering too far because he's not going to steal bases.
I don't think he got his hand back. You can't really hardly tell there.
It's very close.
It was funny. He was in the air when McClain was throwing the ball over, so the feet had to come down before he moved to his left.
There you go. This is our best look.
I think he's out.
Well, I still called out.
I still think because he called him out, I don't think there's enough to change that. But
Andy Fletcher and James Hoyer, the crew chiefs in the replay center, trying to adjudicate this one. McClain already had 2 pickoffs under his belt before this play and has a 3rd pending review.
Well, he's an athlete. He's really got quick feet, and of course, he can throw as hard as anyone on the diamond.
Well, the quick feet remind me of a young Ron Darling.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out.
The Marlins lose their challenge on a 2 out and nobody on 0-2 pickoff. How about that?
Marlins need a wake-up call.
At T-Mobile.
Carson Bench leads off the home second against Yuri Perez and swings and misses at a fastball. Bench went 3 for 7 in the series against the Braves. Had the game-winning hit in Game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday.
Yep, he got on top of that high fastball from Dodd. That was the game winner.
Fouls off the slider, and it's 0-2. Luis Robert on deck, and then Brett Beatty for the Mets against Perez. And 2 pitchers tonight who might be facing each other a lot over the next number of years. Perez, who's 23, and McClain, who just turned 25. This is a guy for whom stardom was always predicted, but it took him a while, as it does for a lot of taller pitchers, to get his mechanics in order.
Oh, his mechanics are so beautiful right now. It's night and day from the last time he faced the Mets in May.
And he spins one in at the knees, and they call that a half swing and a miss. Wow. It was Conroy with an aggressive punch out. 3rd strikeout for Perez.
So in motion, what I'm talking about is a 6'8" athlete. There's a lot of moving parts, long arms, long legs, that little pause. And what I like even better than that, watch as he separates his hands and his knee. Knee, hand, all separate together and deliver the ball. That's as smooth as it gets for a 6'8" athlete.
I've never heard that kind of description before, Ron. That's I mean, he's throwing some outstanding. I mean, I've never heard that before. Huh. Oh, that is something every pitcher would want to do?
Yes, that's just poetry in motion.
And he's throwing hard.
Yeah, you have those kind of mechanics, Keith, as you know, and it's the same each and every time. You're not giving away what pitch is coming.
Well, more opportunities to keep it in the strike zone, too. No.
Robert gets a breaking ball and hits it out to left center. Coming over Hernandez to get it. 2 out. I mean, Keith, when you batted, did you ever know because of the pitcher's mechanics what pitch was coming?
No. Oh, no. It's too rapid. Only time is if they did this, fastball here. But in the big league level, they correct that in the minor leagues because that's Western Union. It very seldom happens. Now, Rusty would pick up pitches while they opened their glove and stuff like that, but never from pick it up from the motion.
Beatty fouls back a fastball, and it's 1-1.
Rusty had a pitcher once that he knew a changeup was coming because he would open his mouth. Like every time he would get a call for a changeup, for whatever reason, his mouth would open.
Yep. A lot of pitchers would fan their glove, open their glove on a secondary pitch.
Beatty gets a hold of one to right center, but Marcy comes over in the gap and pulls it in to retire the side. 6 up and 6 down for Yuri Perez. No score after 2. Changing his pitch usage a little bit. More 4-seamers and curveballs lately. Pop under. Then McClain is on. He'll take it to the bag himself like a former infielder. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, the curveball that was so effective. This was against Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park. I think what he has done, guys, is that he has said it's not only about usage. It's when you decide to use a certain breaking ball, and the curveballs become the high leverage pitch when he needs a punch out or needs to get retire a hitter, and the sweeper is more of a pitch now that he's using to get ahead in the count.
And, you know, the numbers are stark. The opposition is hitting .351 against his sweeper, and they're hitting .110 against his curveball. So it certainly makes sense that he's throwing the curveball.
You throw your pitches in order of effectiveness, and that's what he's doing now.
Liam Hicks walked on 4 pitches to open the game. McClain walked a pair in the first inning. And this is away with the fastball.
Hicks with the big leg kick, but he's very balanced. He doesn't float or drift forward. He gets that foot down pretty quick.
That helmet as he swings over a change up, and it's 1-2.
Hicks with the Bartolo. That's called getting fooled.
Yeah, Bartolo used to catch the helmet.
Yes. Well, if you do it every time.
The saying practice makes perfect.
Yes.
1-2 from McClain. And he tied him up, and it didn't miss by much. 2-2.
He's got that fastball inside that the left-hand hitter's working. Now, he missed with that one, but he missed up in the strike zone. It's that fastball that starts out ball and comes out on the inside corner. It's a very effective strikeout pitch for him against lefties.
Lifted out to left, and Ewing coming toward the line. And Hicks retired 2 out.
Both these pitchers are kind of bullying the hitters early in this game.
Well, the Mets pitching has really picked up since the All-Star break. Their team ERA is 2.91. They've been getting more length from their starters. So Christian Scott goes 6 innings for the first time yesterday. Sean Manaea went 6 innings.
Well, you got the youngsters, Scott and McClain and Thornton, who've been throwing awfully well. You mix in that veteran Manaea for the foundation, and it's a nice little rotation right now.
Well, the question is what it's going to look like in a few days. As of now, Freddie Peralta is scheduled to pitch tomorrow night for the Mets. Whether that will actually happen or not, I think is very clear. Clay Holmes could possibly pitch Sunday, or he could be pitching for somebody else by then. So the young guys play an even larger role now in the Mets rotation moving forward.
Well, you're having a difficult year, so when's the best time to get experience for young pitchers or players? When you have in those difficult years, they'll get that experience and only make them better for next year.
Xavier Edwards hits one toward the hole, and that's going to sneak through for a base hit. So Edwards poking one the other way that just found the 5.5 hole, as Tony Gwynn used to call it.
Oh, that's 2 hits, that both of them are bleeders. 18 stolen bases right there, standing on first base, with only caught 3 times. You got to keep an eye on him.
Well, he's got to keep an eye on McClain too. He's already got 1 pickoff in his pocket tonight. Not a big lead for Edwards. A little dribbler this time up the line, and that'll go foul off the bat of Lopez. Marlins have stolen 120 bases. That ties them for the National League lead with the Nationals. With the Nats, it's a nice accessory to their high-powered offense. With the Marlins, it's a necessity.
Yeah. The Mets had 147 stolen bases last year, only 54 this year.
And that pickoff throw goes awry, and Edwards will go to second base. And it's the second time that's happened to McClain in recent starts.
A 1U unassisted and an E1 in the same inning. He steps off before throwing, and when you step off, you have to be cognizant of that. Your sight line changes as opposed to the straight pickoff right from the rubber.
A runner in scoring position for Lopez. He jumps back from the cutter. Ball 1. The Marlins have been building with the stolen base in mind. It's a team with a low payroll that has not been able to afford a lot of power. Speed is a little more economical.
A little bit like the Rays and the Milwaukee Brewers, kind of that type of team. Good athletes.
Lopez takes that sweeper for a strike, and it's 2-2.
That's that backup slider that could have broke around the plate.
Two coming, and he got him with a curveball. So McClain finishes the 3rd inning with a strikeout. His 4th of the night. Home 3rd inning, Marcus Semien leads off against Yuri Perez, who's retired the first 6. And he gets that first pitch fastball on the corner, and he stumbled a little bit coming out of his delivery, and he's going to work on his landing area. About 6 inches taller than McClain, so they land in different spots. McClain works from the third base side of the rubber, Perez more from the first base side, but he had a little problem with that first pitch.
But McClain lands further down the mound than Perez does. For a 6'8" guy, that's unusual. He doesn't really have that big extension.
Slider off the plate to Semien. He's got 2 home runs in his last 10 at bats.
I'll take that back, about equal.
But when you consider the difference in height.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. One of my favorite facts about Yuri Perez is that his mom is 5'2", and his dad is 5'3".
Can you believe that, Ronnie?
Oh, there's hope for anyone now.
And he's all of 6'8". He's gotten ahead 0-2 on 4 of the first 7 batters. And a ball is called on a pitch clock violation. I guess it was a gratuitous ask for a new baseball. Is that what the ruling is? They're trying to crack down on that a little bit as a time wasting or time stalling device.
So you can't get a new ball?
Semien gets one in the air to shallow center. And Marcy jogging in. 7 straight retired by Perez to start the night.
They're trying to clean it up. Time of game has been a little extended this year, maybe because of the ABS. But well, what are we in about 240 range this year for games? I think that's a little north of where it was when we first had the pitch clock.
Still about 25 minutes shorter than it was before the pitch clock. Well, here's Jorge Polanco. And it has been nothing but an uphill climb for Polanco coming back from the Achilles injury. 4 for 41 since coming off the injured list, 0 for his last 16. And I was wondering whether maybe the leg is still an issue. And I asked Andy Green about it today, and he said no, his legs are under him. It's just his timing isn't there. He's just a guy who's been a really good hitter for a long time.
Yes, and he's in a new. This has been a rough season for him, and no matter what, you're a veteran. You're pressing under a new fan base. Things haven't gone well collectively as a team. It's tough to overcome.
I mean, it happens to every human being that plays this game. You have a lost year working, and you're trying to play catch up all year long, and it never works. You're never able to catch up.
I mean, it's very easy to say the only at bat that matters is the at bat that you're in. But how do you create that mindset?
I remember a friend of mine told me he was having a disastrous year, and he was a great hitter, catcher. And his manager came up to him after the All-Star game and said, listen, you are not going to have that year. Your normal year, your normal great year is not going to happen. Just be the best catcher in the second half.
If you remember, that's when Jeff McNeil had that awful first half. That's what the hitting coach said to him. Listen, just think in terms of second half.
Start over.
Just have a good second half.
2-2 to Polanco.
Good eye.
He's off a tough slider, and now it's 3-2.
That's a good eye right there.
They freed Semi. 2:45 is time of game this year.
As I compare to last year.
2:42 last year. A few more minutes, we'll be breaking out the baseball cards again.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned cards because after today there are 52 games left.
There you go. Nice.
That makes tomorrow the 2 of clubs.
This is game 110 for your Metsies.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Polanco. Been the toughest out so far. He dribbles this one to right field, but Conine was playing deep, and he's in the right spot to grab it. 2 out. It's an encouraging at-bat from Polanco. Northwell Health has partnered with the Amazing Mets Foundation in support of the Sandlot Stars program dedicated to driving access to youth baseball, softball, and t-ball throughout New York. Northwell Health, raise health. So 8 up and 8 down for Perez, and now Francisco Alvarez, who had his 6-game hitting streak stopped in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. Just looking up and down the Mets lineup today. There's only one player in the lineup who's ever had a hit against Eury Perez, and that was Bo Bichette. All the guys who hit him hard are either hurt or gone. Soto hit a home run against him in the game in Miami in May. It was the only run the Mets scored. Soto and Nimmo homered against him in the game here last year. And Alvarez takes it low and away with a changeup. 2 balls and a strike. Perez coming off 7 innings against the Padres on Saturday, and this will be interesting to monitor. He threw a career-high 104 pitches in that game, and he's pitching on regular rest. Certainly doesn't appear to have hampered him in any way early in the game, but I wonder whether they'll put a tether on him tonight.
Remember, he had a perfect game earlier this season, and they took him out after 6 innings. So they're not afraid to make that kind of move.
Side to Alvarez at 100 miles an hour at 3-2.
Boy, if that was a strike, he knows. If he made that pitch, it was strike 3.
It could have been right down the middle.
I mean, that was just outside knee high.
3 straight full counts in this inning for Perez. And Alvarez is on with a walk, and the Mets have their first base runner of the night. Been something that Alvarez has really been working on, and this homestand, you've seen it pay off in a number of bases on balls. So now Perez will have to work out of the stretch for the first time with A.J. Ewing coming up. Struck out his first time up. Boy, they really do play deep in the outfield.
Right?
I mean, I would say that when the Dodgers were here, Andy Pages against Ewing was playing about 50 feet closer to home plate.
Well, I think with Perez could be part of the equation for the information-driven Marlins. Tough to get three straight hits against them, so they want to bunch them and keep the ball in front of them.
The fastball in on him, and Ewing fouled it off, 1-2.
Almost like a no doubles defense.
Alvarez at first with 2 down. And Ewing gets a breaking ball and rolls it out to second. Edwards makes the play to retire the side. We played 3 at Citi Field, no score. Last night, Christian Scott went 6 innings for the first time this year, 7 strikeouts.
Well, it was really fun to watch you guys, but also to watch Christian Scott use that fastball early, and then after that was able to get that cutter, and also when he got in trouble, used some really good curveballs to get back in counts and retire some hitters.
And Christian is standing by live with Steve Gelb. Steve?
All right, guys, thanks so much. And Christian, they were just showing some of the highlights from your fantastic outing yesterday. Andy Green told us before the game that you actually sought him out, told him how much it meant to you that he pushed you through that 6th inning yesterday. Why did that mean so much?
It's the first time doing it this year, and just being able to go out there and trust my stuff. And, I had a game plan going into that third time through the order, too. Pitch around Ozzie a little bit there to get the right-hander up. And so when I saw someone walk out to the mound, I'm glad it was J-Dub instead of Andy. So I'm glad he gave me that chance.
Ron was just talking about the fact that you used your curveball really selectively to get back into counts yesterday. Just what is your mindset there, and how effective has that pitch been for you, especially recently, to do that, to get back into counts?
Just established confidence with it, I would say. Just being able to throw it in and out of the strike zone when I want to. For me, I know early in the count is probably for a strike pitch, but late in the count I can try to bury that when I want to. So just had success with it recently, especially against lefties. So just try to go to that as much as I can. I feel like it's a good tool for me.
Christian, I also know that last night you felt like that cutter was really good, and that's a new pitch for you this year. When you develop new pitches, is it something now where it just feels like it's a part of your repertoire, or do you still, in between starts, work on refining it a little bit more than the pitches you've had?
I feel like you're always working on something, especially in this game. Like for me when I got drafted, that's none of my repertoire right now is what it was when I got drafted. So I've constantly been in a phase of working on a different pitch and working on things to be able to sharpen myself. But
Gary, you can take that.
Kyle Stowers with a line drive home run, his 15th of the year, and that puts the Marlins on the board first.
I think it was a hanging breaking ball. It was inner half. He likes to pull, Stowers, and likes the ball down. Oh, that's a changeup. And you want to get that changeup to a lefty. You want to get it on the outside corner, not put it over the middle or inner half with a power hitter up there.
All right, guys, back with Christian Scott, who looked at me and said, that's your fault, so I will take full ownership of that. But you can just finish the answer you were in the middle of when I pulled the mic away.
I just feel like I've always been working on something, especially in this system coming up, and I feel like pitching coaches have done a really good job establishing confidence in me when I'm just trying a new pitch and encourage me to try that in games. So it's tough to be able to really have a lot of confidence in when you're throwing in bullpens and stuff. So being able to come out in games and use that pitch effectively, that's helped a lot with the confidence with those pitches.
What is your biggest area of growth as you look at it from the day you debuted in the big leagues to where you are right now?
I would say just the overall picture of being able to get through a lineup multiple times. For me, I felt like for a better term, I felt like I was running out of tricks 2 times through the lineup, and be able to, these guys are studying their swings too and studying my pitches on the iPads and whatnot after every at-bat and every inning. So just being able to have multiple options to go to inside and outside of the strike zone, and obviously trusting my four seam for the most part throughout the lineup, but just be able to have a little bit more confidence, whether that's my sweeper to lefties or being able to throw the cutter to righties. Just we have multiple options for each handedness to be able to get them out.
Christian, we started this interview talking about your length in your outing yesterday, and I know that you've talked to me about the fact that you never had many command issues before, and it's kind of come and gone a little bit this year, which is normal when it comes to recovering from Tommy John surgery. So how would you describe what the biggest difference is when you have a night like last night where that command is there versus when you're trying to find it?
I would say just being able to pitch ahead's a lot easier. Obviously get through deeper in games, like you said. When you're able to get strike one first, and rather than fighting back in counts constantly, it makes pitching a lot easier. So just being able to try to get in and out of bats as quick as I can. I noticed like on the outings that I've had a lot of success, and like I'm limiting the pitches per at bat. So when a batter is able to see a lot of pitches in at bat, they tend to have a better feel for what your pitch is going to do, and a lot of times it's tough to get them to miss at that point. So just being able to have shorter battles and be able to get in and out of at bats is kind of when I've had my most success this year.
Well, Christian, we really enjoyed watching last night. Continued success, and thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you to Christian. 15 starts into his season. First year back from Tommy John. 2.99 ERA. He has really been impressive.
It's really been fun to watch. It was fun to watch last night. Beatty
making the flip to McClain, and the inning is over. But Kyle Stowers' home run puts the Marlins in front, 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. We're going to the bottom of the fourth inning at Citi Field. Kyle Stowers' home run has the Marlins in front 1-0.
You know, Gary, that interview was wonderful with Christian down there with Steve. And the thing I took out of it, what I loved was that he was glad that they let him stay in and finish that sixth inning. How many times have we seen a pitcher he walks someone or gives up a hit with 2 outs, and they yank him and it's 5 2/3. Make him finish the inning and feel good about himself.
It was a real badge of honor, you could tell, for him. That's great.
I think they all want to stay in.
They do. They're competitors. They wouldn't be here.
Francisco Lindor struck out his first time up. Mets looking for their first hit against Perez. And he pops it up and foul ground. Paulie racing for it. Gets the barrier, but runs out of room.
Hey, listen, every team would like 5 guys who throw 100 miles an hour with a razor blade. But that very rarely happens. I think moving forward, some of the strengths in these young pitchers is going to be their differences and how different they throw. Scott is not like McClain. McClain's kind of like a unicorn. Thornton is just the opposite. He looks like a guy that could pitch in the 80s. I think that'll be a strength for them.
Ward takes the curveball for a strike.
You know what I mean? Every night you'll see something different.
Francisco struck out his first time up.
You know, you made that point, Ron, and that we've got the 86 coming up here on Saturday. Our starting 5 was really diverse. It was diversified.
Yeah.
And a foul tip held on to by Mack. And that's strikeout number 4 for Perez. Well, any stuff that has Sid Fernandez on is by its nature diversified.
You had Doc, flamethrower, Ronnie with the sinker, curve, splitter. You had Ojeda, great changeup. You had Sid with the Funkadelic. And then
George
Coney.
Funkadelic. And then Coney by the 88.
Yeah, I mean, that was as good a starting 5 I've ever seen.
Bichette flying out to right his first time up. Hitless in his last 9 at bats. And a ground ball hit to third, handled easily by Paulie, and there are 2 out. Well, the Mets were held to 2 hits in the night game last night by Chris Sale and company, and having no better luck against the Yuri Perez.
Well, Sale's one of the elite left-handers pitchers of his generation, and this young man could be one of the better pitchers of his generation moving forward. He's on top of his game. He is dictating the at-bats so far.
He's impressive.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Carson Bench, who struck out his first time up. And he takes a curveball for a strike.
He's got that little backdoor breaking ball first pitch to a left-hand hitter, Ron. He'd get ahead 0-1. Okay.
Big Carson Bench fan. The thing about Perez, if you can get on base, you can run against him.
That's
but
right.
if you don't get on base, you can't run.
He doesn't give up a lot of hits.
He's now thrown 10 innings against the Mets this year and given up 2 hits.
I remember after the '84 season, they were working hard on Dwight's move because everyone was stealing bases. I was like, why? No one's ever on base.
Can't steal first. Nothing but breaking balls to Bench in this at bat. 2-2.
I remember Whitey coming up to me in 86, and Doc started throwing the cutter. Whitey said, "What do you want him to throw a cutter for? He's good enough with his fastball and his curve."
Two out and nobody on. 2-2 to Ben.
Oh boy,
fastball, call the ball. That's a challenge, and that's going to be strike 3.
It's strike 3, Gary. The umpire missed it because it was a bad framing by the catcher.
And that'll do it for the Mets in the bottom of the 4th. 5 strikeouts for Perez. After 4, it's 1-0 Marlins.
Saturday.
Only one blemish for Nolan McLean tonight. A home run by Kyle Stowers leading off the 4th inning. It's lost 1-0 last night, and they're down 1-0 as we go to the 5th today. Graham Pauley had a check swing base hit his first time up. And back to a sweeper for a strike, 0-1. Pauley spent a lot of time in the minors this year. Didn't hit early. 36 games in AAA.
They got him from the Dodgers.
From the Padres.
Padres? Okay.
Yeah, for Tanner Scott and Brian Hoeing. I mean, half their team is from the Padres.
The Nationals. They've given Paulie a lot of opportunity in that third base position. Just hasn't seemed to have been able to put together offensively.
Joe Mack, the on-deck batter. And Paulie rolls over one down to first. Beatty sweeps it up. McLean gets over to cover. 1 out. You see some of the dramatic finishes this afternoon.
Oh, my goodness.
The Minnesota Twins, who might have something brewing there. Down 3-0. They got no hit into the 7th inning by Noah Cameron of the Royals. They had 1 hit through 8. Down 3-0, 2 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 9th. They load the bases. 2 out, 0-2 count to Cody Clemens, and he hits the ultimate grand slam.
Oh, wow.
The down 3 runs grand slam that wins the game.
They were calling it on, I think, the Twins broadcast, the Immaculate Grand Slam.
You see that White Sox win there. That was on a bases-loaded walk in the bottom of the 11th. Fernando Cruz fell behind the previous hitter 3-0, came back to strike him out, and then with 2 out, he walked Tristan Peters on 4 pitches to force in the winning run.
Well, and they're all just bunched up there in the American League for that wild card.
Now, the Yankees have a pretty good cushion for the first spot, but everybody else in hot pursuit.
They got their 2 big bats on the IL, Bellinger and Judge. Judge has been on it for, seems like a light year. Serious injury.
Yeah, he's got that rib cage muscle that's underneath the chest.
Yankees with the loss are now 3.5 behind the Rays for first place because the Rays got a game-winning home run from Cedric Mullins in the bottom of the 8th to beat Texas today 3-2. Where was that?
Someone different every night.
I mean, where was that in Flushing?
Rays have the magic potion, Gary.
The Mets are going to go down. I think the first week of September, the Mets will have a 3-game series down there.
Yep. Rays are tough. 3 shutouts in their last 5 games. Up and into Mack, and it's 2-2.
And after playing in Tampa last season at the Yankees minor league field, they're almost unbeatable at home.
And that abomination of the ballpark.
It's different, though.
It is definitely different.
I don't care.
Curve ball hit back to McClain. Has it on a short hop. And throws out Mac 2 away.
Made it look easy.
Let me tell you, I did a game there already. The lighting is impeccable. They put all new lights in there. The ceiling now you can see through. It's not all white on top, which is very unusual. But here's the one you're going to love, Gary. The sound is so loud.
Oh, really?
Louder than Dodger Stadium.
Like the Kingdome used to be?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Because the Kingdome was all concrete, and that place was so loud. That's lined to right field, a base hit for Hicks. That's the 4th hit against McClain, a 2-out single.
Yeah, Keith, they play a tune or part of a tune between every pitch, so get ready.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Did they take out the rings?
No, the rings are prominent there. I have a laminated page for you to get ready, Gary.
It's still an abomination.
A, B, C, and D.
I hope they get a new stadium soon. So Hicks aboard for the second time, and now Xavier Edwards, who snuck a base hit through the left side his last time up. And he bluffs the bunt and takes a strike.
That ball's outside.
No challenge.
That's a Lee Wire strike.
Tell the young people who Lee Wire is.
Lee Wire was a terrific umpire, but he would call for the first 2 strikes a pitch, I swear, 6 inches to 9 inches, sometimes 9 inches outside. He called a strike, and he had that high-pitched voice. Strike 1.
Edwards flies one to shallow left. Ewing comes in to get it, and that retires the side. Halfway through, 1-0 Miami. Northwell and the Amazing Mets Foundation are proud to partner up in support of the Sandlot Stars program. Here's a look at Jose Reyes' visit to the Harlem Little League. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets still looking for their first hit of the night against Yuri Perez, who's walked 1 and struck out 5 through the first 4 innings. Luis Robert leads off against Perez in the 5th.
All that on 54 pitches. 37 for strikes. Now 55 and 37.
Could you update us after the next one?
No, it's too much.
Grounded to third, short hop picked by Paulie, and he throws out Robert, 1 away.
Well, playing off to the side, and I don't agree with that, but he got the short hop. And you always want to get in front. That's the way I was taught, but that's all I have to say. Gare, take it away.
I'll check back with you later. There's Brett Beatty, who flied out to center his first time up.
What do you know? What do you know about fielding?
Oh, nice breaking ball. That one had a good down break.
I mean, he's had the gyro slider, he's had the sweeper, he's had the curveball. And how many breaking pitches can one pitcher have? It's popped up on the left side. Paulie right near the bag.
2 hands.
Fair territory, 2 out.
Very interesting. One-handed the ground ball and 2 hands the pop-up.
So 2 out and nobody on, and now Marcus Semien, who flied out to center his first time up. Marlins 1 run, 4 hits. The Mets no runs and no hits. And Semien takes a slider outside for ball 1. Nationals are beginning a series in Atlanta. 5-4 Braves going to the 9th. Washington and Miami tied in the standings right now. You know who under the radar has had an amazing year for the Nats? Because we talk about James Wood and C.J. Abrams, but Luis Garcia is having an amazing season.
Ever since they moved him to first base, I think he's found his role.
Got a home run and a triple tonight.
He's still young, right?
He's 25, 26.
Yeah.
Only 2 players in baseball have a higher slugging percentage than Luis Garcia.
And he's not a big guy.
That's hit hard. The Mets have their first hit of the night. Semien turns around a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And he's aboard with 2 down.
Well, Semien may not be having the year he would like coming into the game at 211, but he has not lost his bat speed. You throw him middle in, and he's going to turn on you.
So the tying run aboard with 2 out. Here's Jorge Polanco, lined out to right field his first time up. Well, we mentioned the trouble that Perez has holding base runners. Semien has 6 stolen bases this year. Yuri Perez has given up 23 stolen bases this year. That's more than any pitcher in the National League.
One of the best throwing catchers in the National League and in baseball.
Well, there's no question the Marlins have improved as the season has gone along, controlling the running game because of the presence of Joe Mack, who did not start the season in the big league. Certainly a much better defensive catcher than Liam Hicks, who has now been mostly used at first base and DH.
He's going to go.
Semien jumps off the bag. He goes. Max throw to second base. Hits the runner right in the helmet. Semien got whacked. But he steals the base, his 7th of the year.
2-1. Grazed him. It's like the ball, helmet, and glove all came at the same time. And Lopez didn't get the glove in front of the helmet. Might have been out. If he makes the catch, he gets that glove in front.
So the Mets get a runner to second base for the first time. And Polanco takes a curveball in the dirt, and it's 3-1. He's never got a runner to second base in the game last night. Baby steps.
How about Polanco? First big moment right here.
Well, he had a good at bat first time up. He's ahead in the count, 3-1. Alvarez would be next. Polanco got a good cut of the fastball and fouled it back, 3-2. Jorge Polanco still shy of 100 at bats this season in a truncated year. Fouls back another fastball.
You see, you saw Perez's expression like he made a mistake there, but that pitch upstairs is I think it's a good pitch. You can go down the ladder now if you want. It's got, when someone throws hard and they throw it up on the letters and the chin area, it's explosive.
Again, the 3-2. And Polanco pops one up behind third. Paulie for the tarp over the shoulder. Got it. Hit the tarp and held on.
What a play.
Graham Paulie with an outstanding play. Back to home plate. Absorbed the punishment from the tarp and held on to the ball. Nicely done. Injected himself right back into the conversation for National League Rookie of the Year with his recent performance. He was probably the preseason favorite. Got a lot of contention with a rough May, but boy, he's been good lately.
A big finish maybe gets him under 3. That would like to see that.
He's had a busy night, not only on the mound, but fielding his position. Otto Lopez leads off and takes a fastball strike. McClain already has 3 putouts, 3 assists, and an error. 7 total chances in 5 innings for the pitcher. You know the last time the Mets had a pitcher with 7 total chances in a game? 1998. Armando Reynoso.
Wow. Oh, God, Armando. He was a good fielder, wasn't he?
Outstanding fielder. Great pickoff move for him.
He knew how to pitch, too. He was from Mexico, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Mets record for total chances for a pitcher in a game is 9, so that's within reach for McClain. The last time that was done was by Brett Saberhagen in 1994. Good curveball by McClain to get ahead on Lopez, 1-2. And Lopez, second in the National League in batting average, and, well, the only 300 hitter in the division among qualifiers.
It's going the way of the dinosaur.
Popped up in foul ground. Long run over for Beatty, and slides but can't get there.
Looks like Lopez right now, who's pretty much led the league in hitting most of the year, just relinquished it to the San Francisco Giants.
Rise,
and he just looks like he's out in front jumping at that breaking ball. So, you know, it's hard to go a whole season without going into a slump. It's just, if you don't, it's just one of those great years you have.
And Ryan's have the advantage of being a left-hand hitter, and, you know, he's won 3 batting titles already. And 4 for 4 different teams. Maybe 5 if he plays for somebody else this year. Will McClain take this one for another chance? No. He gives way to Beatty.
He wanted it.
If he knew he was going for the record, he wanted it. So Lopez retired 1 away. Now Kyle Stowers, his home run, has accounted for the only run of this game. His hardest hit ball of the season, 113-mile-an-hour line drive into the seats in right field. And he hits this one hard, but right to Simeon for the second out.
Well, he got a change up here, and it just kind of sailed into the wheelhouse. Didn't get it away. It was a 2-iron.
So 2 out and nobody on. McClain 1 out away from getting through 6 innings. It would be the 8th straight time for him to go 6 innings or more. So much of the season, the Mets had trouble getting their starters through 5 or 6 innings, and now all of a sudden, these starters are starting to get some length. Roberto Hernandez takes fastball down for ball 1.
It's almost like when they lost their steady Eddie Holmes. It's just like things went off the rails for a while.
Well, Holmes got hurt right about the time McClain hit his slump, and that did not help. You had Minaya pitching out of the bullpen at the time. He has now joined the rotation and has hit his stride. Thornton wasn't here. Scott started the year in the minor leagues. But Senga pitched his way out of the rotation.
And Freddie has struggled.
A lot of moving parts.
Senga has not pitched in 12 days. His last outing was back on the 18th of July.
In a perverse way, that's a good thing, because it means that the starters are going deep into games. He's basically the long man in that bullpen.
Yep.
Hernandez has struck out flat out 0 for 2. 2-2 for McClain. And the sweeper low and away. 3-2. Nolan has walked 2. They both came in the first inning. Struck out 4. That's not a strikeout since the 3rd. And gets Hernandez looking. Side retired. Now Hernandez is going to challenge the call.
He's going to lose the call. Lose it.
And he does lose it. 5 strikeouts for McClain. He gets through 6 for the 8th straight start. Still 1-0 Marlins in the 6th. Home sixth inning. Francisco Alvarez leads off against Eury Perez. 1-0 Miami. Something got loose out in left field, and Roberto Hernandez went to retrieve it. Good housekeeping. No seal. Alvarez drew the only walk from Perez tonight. It came in the third inning. He takes first pitch, sinker down for ball one. Just to expand on the point we were making before about Mets starters getting deeper into games. With McClain going at least 6 tonight. That's the 4th straight time that a Mets starter's gone 6 or more. Thornton, Manaea, Scott, and McClain. First time this year the Mets have had 4 straight starts of 6 innings or more. In fact, it had been more than a year since they had had 4 straight. You got to go back to last June. Before all the injuries struck, it was McGill, Canning, Peterson, Senga, and Holmes. Speaking of Canning, as ball 4 to Alvarez, Canning has found his niche with the Padres as a bulk reliever.
Right.
Padres are basically going with 2 starting pitchers right now, doing what the Tigers did a couple of years ago. So Alvarez, who had his first career 3-walk game earlier on the homestand, has a second walk tonight, and the Mets get the leadoff man on for the first time tonight. Remember what we said about Perez? Career high 104 pitches 5 days ago. And so bullpen may be cranking pretty soon for the Marlins. A.J. Ewing takes fastball outside. 5 straight out of the strike zone to start the inning.
The other thing about Perez, if you've scouted him enough, he doesn't like to throw the ball to the bases. So if he decided to maybe lay one down, you'd have an advantage.
Paulie in on the grass at third against Ewing, who struck out and grounded out. And A.J. takes a sinker for a strike, 1-1. Alvarez has a very short lead at first. He has a tendency to do that. I'm not quite certain why he is so tentative with his leads. Particularly with a pitcher that does not have a good pickoff.
It's a big pitch right here. He's kind of losing it.
So 6 out of 7 out of the strike zone to start the inning. Ewing swings through that fastball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, that was the pitch to hit Keith. You got it.
No, he just reared back and fired, and that was right down the middle. Got a good cut.
Francisco Lindor waiting on deck. Perez starting his 3rd time around the Mets batting order. And Ewing fouls away with that changeup. It's 2-2. Now the Marlins are a team that calls every pitch from the dugout. They were the ones who started that late last season. Popped up in foul ground, and that'll go out of play. I don't know if they were using, AI suggestions.
Oh, yeah, right.
Got banned a couple of weeks ago.
Other teams are using. They're the ones that first started it, and they are not only going off what is working, they're going off what tendencies of the hitter, and all you have to do as the pitcher is execute.
7th pitch of the at bat coming to Ewing.
Part of the joys, though, of pitching is a symbiotic relationship with you and the catcher. And he's tuned into you, and you're tuned into him, and you know what sign he's going to put down before he even puts it down, and that just makes for the fun.
Well, yeah, but quarterbacks used to call their own plays, too.
That's right.
Again, the 2-2. Alvarez is running, and a ground ball toward the middle. Cut off there by Edwards. Gets the out. How about that? Alvarez in motion. And he's able to get into scoring position with 1 out.
That would have been, well, tough to double up. Ewing.
Showing confidence in Ewing's ability to put the ball in play. Because, you know, Alvarez would have been a dead duck. He does have 3 steals in his career, but none in the last 2 seasons. So a runner in scoring position for Lindor, who struck out in both at bats. And he shoots 1 foul. After his 1 hit, Marcus Semien base hit with 2 out of the 5th. Perez has now walked 2, struck out 5. And Lindor lines one into right field for a base hit. Alvarez will be waved around third. Here comes the throw by Conine to the plate. He slides. He stays. And the game is tied. Aggressive send by Tim Leeper. And Alvarez scores from second on the base hit by Lindor, and it's 1-1.
Well, they challenge the arm of the good arm of Conine. He comes in and throws a dart just ahead of the tag.
Just had 1 extra hop on it. There's a hop from Alvarez before his start. And what an aggressive call by Leeper, the veteran third base coach.
With that run batted in, Lindor now has 469 RBIs as a Met, which moves him into 11th place all time, 1 more than Keith Hernandez.
Oh, wow.
When Keith left the Mets after 1989, he was 4th on the list.
Yeah.
Now he's 12th.
How many years did I play here? 6.5?
Strawberry, Kranepool, and Cleon Jones were the only 3 ahead of you. Bichette carves 1 foul, 1-1. Well, putting Alvarez in motion on the pitch to Ewing, put him in scoring position. He's able to come home on the base hit by Lindor. And I hurt his shoulder a little bit on the slide. It's like a rock.
Oh, there's a throw over.
Well, this throw from Conine, you're right, Keith, is on the mark, but it had 1 more hop in it. It's supposed to be just a 1-hopper.
Kind of died.
Yep.
See if Lindor takes off. He goes, and it's hit on the ground. Off the middle, off the glove of Edwards into center field. Lindor goes to third. It's chased down by Hernandez, and the Mets have runners at the corners. So Lindor in motion. Edwards was going to cover the bag, but the ball too hot to handle, and Bichette has a base hit. And the Mets have the go-ahead run at third with 1 out.
I thought Lindor for a while, if he didn't have to step over Edwards, I thought he might have had a chance to score. But good hurdle there by Lindor.
I did not see if they signaled obstruction.
They did not. They did not. They called it safe.
It's not supposed to be about intent. It's supposed to be about hindrance, and certainly he hindered Lindor's movement, having to leap over him like that.
You know, Gary, you mentioned that Perez in his last start went 7 strong against the Padres. He has looked like a different pitcher in this inning, certainly.
Well, there's nobody throwing yet in the Miami bullpen. Edwards going to cover on the steal. Almost got to it.
And boom.
So Bichette snaps an 0 for 10 stretch. And now Carson Bench comes up with first and third and 1 out. And the Marlins are going to bring their infield in a tie game, figuring it would be hard to double up Bench. They'll play their infield up. Bench has struck out each of his first 2 at bats. He had the go-ahead hit in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday.
Kind
kind of jammed that right shoulder by putting his right arm down, put all the weight on that right wrist and hand and shoulder.
Benj takes one on the inside edge for a strike, shakes his head. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff walk to Alvarez. An advancing ground out by Ewing. Lindor with the RBI single, and then Bichette with a base hit. And now Benj trying to get the Mets the lead. And Carson swings and misses at a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Perez still throwing hard. He struck out 5 tonight, 2 of them against Benj, and he's in a spot where he could certainly use a strikeout.
4.5 shakes there for Perez.
This is Alvarez's slide into second base, so he might have actually hurt his shoulder here.
Yep. That head first slide can get dicey.
1-2 coming to Benj, and the breaking ball, he just barely got a piece of it.
How did he get a piece of that?
You know he's indestructible, right?
Well, I'm always careful when he's out there rolling around on the bases.
In Perez's hardest working inning, his 22nd pitch of this inning. And away to Benj, throw to third, and Lindor got back safely. Joe Mack with a quick toss.
That's a nice play there. Joe Mack throwing it right down the line. They had the play on. Paulie knew it. Tried to get his foot in there, which is not correct. Can't do that.
2-2 to Benj. There goes Bichette, and Benj fouls it off. So even the guys who are not known for their speed, like Alvarez and Bichette, are running with a Yuri Perez on the mound.
Yeah, Perez is so myopic. He's just concentrating on one thing, trying to retire Benj.
Exactly, and it will keep you out of the double play, even though the infield is in.
Benj has been outstanding this year, getting a runner in from third and less than 2 out. Awfully good for a rookie, 77%. Battling hard here. 7th pitch coming from Perez. And Benj pops it up. Shallow center field. In comes Hernandez from left to make the catch, and no chance for Lindor to try to score. 2 out. So it's left to Luis Robert to try and get the lead run home. Robert is slide to left, grounded to third, 0 for 2. Action beginning now in the Miami bullpen. Oh boy. Blake Blocker is up. Lindor at third, Bichette at first with 2 down. Infield back now with 2 down. And Robert hits one slowly to third. Paulie to go off his glove, and the Mets take the lead. Paulie, who made a spectacular play to end the 5th inning, unable to handle that one on the charge, and the Mets go in front 2-1 as Lindor comes home.
Well, I know Robert can run, but he could have come in and been more collected himself. And when you field off to the side, I know he's coming in hard, but could have been more collected and made the play.
It's an error all the way, no RBI. So the Mets, with a couple of runs here in the 6th, go in front 2-1. And now looking for more with Brett Beatty stepping in. Beatty is flying to center, popped to third, 0 for 2. Bichette now at second, Robert at first with 2 out, 2 runs home in the inning. And Beatty goes after a high, hard 1-0 and 1.
snatched at that ball that was thrown by Mack. I'm just disgusted how this inning has played out.
Well, one ball go off Edwards' glove, and now Paulie unable to come up with the grounder.
It all started with a leadoff walk to Alvarez.
Yeah, leadoff walk, and he also, his inability to hold base runners has just allowed the Mets to run even with people who can't run. Or shouldn't be run.
So probably be Perez's last batter, whether he gets him or not. He's ahead 0-2 on Beatty, and he gets him with a high breaking ball, and that retires the side. But not before the Mets grab the lead with 2 runs. They lead 2-1 after 6.
Shot.
Connor Rogers, Joe DeMeo, and SNY MLB insider Kelsey James have all the news, notes, and rumors as the Mets head toward the trade deadline. On the latest episode of the Mets Pod, subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Nolan McLean supplied with the lead for the first time tonight. Starts the 7th inning, facing Griffin Conine, and he chops one into the ground on a cutter, and it's 0-2. Conine is taking a call, 3rd strike, and lined out to left. Lane has already had 3 games this year in which he's gone 7 innings. 3 of the 8 times that Met pitchers have done it this year. And the backdoor breaking ball missed. A ball and 2 strikes to Conine. Jacob Marcy on deck, and then Graham Paulie. Brooks Raley is up in the Mets bullpen in case McLean needs help here in the 7th. Braves held on to beat the Nationals 5-4. Raley. Bullpen has not been overtaxed the last few days because of the starters going deep. Conine goes down for the 2nd time. 6 strikeouts now for McLean. 1 down in the 7th.
That was a really good reaction. You see the grip first by McLean. He missed with 2 and then finally threw the one center that ended up out of the strike zone. He had a big yell, like finally got it over the way I wanted it to.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Marcy, who has struck out and grounded out 0-2. And the first pitch curveball misses away for ball 1. Rare time since the 1st inning that McLean's been behind in the count. He walked 2 in the opening inning. None since. He's given up a run on 4 hits. And Marcy takes sweeper low and in, and Alvarez going to challenge the call.
It's low, down, Keith. It's low. Yeah. They're going to lose the challenge.
And it is indeed low. Each team has 1 challenge remaining. 3-0 to Marcy, and he swings and flies one deep to right. Back goes Benj on the warning track. Back at the wall. It's out of here. Jacob Marcy swinging on 3-0. It's his 6th home run of the year to tie the game at 2-2. And Marcy not having a great year, but that is a big hit for the Marlins to get them even.
Gave him the hit sign on a 3-0. Down a run.
8 and 9 behind him.
So it's a fastball above the belt, middle.
Well, the Marlins not a team that relies on the home run for a lot of their offense, but 2 solo home runs accounting for their 2 runs tonight. Stowers in the 4th, and now Marcy in the 7th.
Benj made like Spider-Man going up that wall.
McLean will stay in to face the left-hand batter with Raley ready in the bullpen. And Paulie pops one foul backing out of play. That was an angry pitch by McClain.
I mean, very few during the year we'll see a guy swing 3-0 and accomplish what he's trying to do, hit that ball at the ballpark. But it was a perfect time to give the 3-0 swing. 8 and 9 hitters behind him, knew he was going to get a fastball, and he delivered.
It's only the second time in his career that Marcy has put a ball in play on a 3-0 pitch. And he hits the tying home run. Paulie had the first Miami hit, a check swing grounder over the third base bag in the second. And he pops this one foul backing out of play, and it's 1-2. Lane's now given up 13 home runs in his 22 starts. This is with a curveball, and it's 2-2 to Paulie.
The Marlins team is a tenacious bunch.
Joe Mack, another left-hand hitter waiting on deck. And Paulie rips one into right field for a base hit. He hung a curveball that time. So back-to-back base hits by the 7 and 8 hitters, and that's going to be all for McClain. They left him in to face one left-hand hitter, but they'll leave before the next lefty comes up. So McClain is out after 6 in the third. In a 2-2 game, Brooks Raley will come on. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. By your local Honda dealers, contact your local Honda dealer today. And by Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber Internet. Visit Optimum.com for details. McClain out after 6 in the third innings. Having given up 2 runs and 6 hits, Brooks Raley will try and keep his inherited runner from scoring. Esteury Ruiz, with 25 stolen bases, is running for Paulie at first base, carrying the go-ahead run.
No, he's been outstanding all season long. Got to get 2 outs here in this inning. He's got to worry about the runner at first. Outstanding speed.
Ruiz 25 steals, tied for third in the National League, and that gets right through Alvarez, and Ruiz gets the easy way to second base. A pass ball by Alvarez, who led the league in pass balls last year and leads again this year.
It's not a cross-up. He just...
It's all about the framing. Trying to frame,
botched it.
Not catching the ball.
There's the Mets.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position, and Mack takes a sinker down. Ball and a strike.
12th pass ball for the Mets team-wise on the season.
Mack has hit 2 comebackers in this game. Lines that one to third, caught by Bichette. It'll be a double play. Lindor gets the tag down from a 5-6 line drive double play to end the inning. That's in a makeup for a mistake. 2-2 in the 7th. SNY Play Ball, presented by Toyota, is back looking to support local youth football leagues. If you know a league in need, apply today at sny.tv/playball. Javier Sanoja takes over at third base after Graham Paulie left for a pinch runner. Lake Bacher is the first man out of the Miami bullpen. Marcus Semien leads off in the bottom of the 7th.
I feel like every time the Mets play the Marlins, Lake Bacher gets in the game. High spin rate on his fastball, throws a lot of sliders and sweepers.
And that's poked to second base. One hopper to Edwards, and he throws out Semien, one away. Yuri Perez, 97 pitches in 6 innings. 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Nolan McLean out after 6 1/3, 2 runs, 6 hits.
Both pitchers had real close lines, right? Pitching lines.
Right, Polanco takes a sweeper for a strike. Polanco's had a couple of good at bats, but nothing to show for it. Lined out to right and then hit the foul pop up that Paulie made the great play on, running into the tarp in the 5th inning. Bacher gets that in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Lake Bacher from the University of Wisconsin at Whitewater, which is not a lake. On the outside corner, Polanco's going to challenge the call.
And I think he's going to get the call. I think he's going to stay in this at bat.
And he does. Each team still has 1 challenge remaining.
Finally, a break for Polanco. We take advantage of it.
The ball's 2 strikes. And a balk is called, or a time violation. Time violation called. So now it's 3-2. So he got a call on an ABS challenge, and now he gets a call on a clock violation to make it 3-2.
Oh, that gets the manager upset.
Yeah.
Well, part of that is calling the pitches from the dugout. Reduces the time that you have.
But Bacher's been shaking him off.
And then Polanco hits it softly, and Bacher has it in the webbing and throws him out 2 away.
So your call. I don't have anything. You do it. I don't got it. You go. Yeah, curveball.
Well, really?
I'll tell you.
Oh my God! Good thing they have signs.
My goodness.
That's
Keystone
funny.
Cops.
That's funny.
Oh no. Oh. Fastball. 1 fastball.
It was Alvarez with 2 out and nobody on. And Francisco takes the slider for a strike. Rookie catcher behind the plate, trying to interpret what's going on in the dugout.
That's like Junior Ortiz going out to the mound, stuttering and going, fastball.
Couldn't you just put down 1 finger? For a fastball, 2 for a curve. Oh gosh. Slowly hit to short. Lopez got it and throws out Alvarez. 3 ground ball outs for Bacher in a 1-2-3 inning. On to the 8th, tied at 2.
I'm going to go behind the box a little bit and look at that inning where they scored some runs, too. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys coming up on the post-game show. Garrett, back to you.
Go to the 8th inning. Mets and Marlins tied 2-2. A little conversation in the Marlins dugout after some confusion about the pitch calling.
It's not funny if the guy hit the curveball at the ballpark. That's a serious telegraph.
Joe Mack looking a little befuddled, the rookie catcher.
That's a sigh.
1's a fastball, 2's a curve. Brooks Raley facing the top of the batting order in the 8th. And misses with his first pitch to Liam Hicks, who's been on base twice tonight with a walk and a single, 1 for 2. Edwards and Lopez to follow. Raley threw 3 pitches to get 2 outs in the 7th, a line drive double play to get the Mets out of a jam after the Marlins tied the game on Jacob Marcy's home run. McClain threw 99 pitches over 6 1/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs, lowered his ERA to 3.29. And Hicks hits one toward the gap in right center, and that's down for a base hit. Fumbled by Benj, but he gets it in quickly, and Hicks is on base for the 3rd time tonight.
He hit that ball. Might have broken the right spot. Yeah, might have broken his bat. Hit it kind of off the end.
Yeah, off the end.
So that's why no one was going to get to it, because it just died.
Yep. End of the bat.
He's had himself a really nice year. A Rule 5 pick made good. Started out in the Texas organization. Detroit got him. Marlins took him in the Rule 5 last year. Rule 5's tough for a catcher, which is what he was when he came over. Now he's more of a catcher, first baseman, DH, and he can hit. Now Edwards has already sacrificed once in this game. Takes a cutter on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1.
He might still bunt here. He's trying to push this bunt right towards Simeon and try to beat Raley to first.
They got both the corners in defensively, and there was a day where you can switch it and 1-1, 2, and if it gets to 2-1, it's a hit and run count. But those days are gone with the comet that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Was it a comet or a meteor?
Whatever.
He pushes a punt that's foul.
It was something that was very large.
Well, it had to be because, the dinosaurs were pretty big.
They were enormous.
They were formidable size.
They have all the answers at Area 51. They just won't let us take a look.
It was the Martians.
Okay.
1-2 coming. And a half swing, half-hearted. And that's the first out. It's making a good hitter look bad. So 1 out and 1 on. Now out of Lopez,
who's had a rough night. He hasn't looked comfortable at the plate.
Takes the sweeper for a strike. Lopez is fouled out, struck out, popped out. Leads the league with 138 hits. And that one stroked to center, but right at Robert. And that's the second out. So 2 away. Hicks still at first, and now Kyle Stowers, whose home run opened the scoring in the 4th inning. He's hit 2 balls his last 2 at bats, 113 and 110 miles an hour.
He is a 159 hitter against left-handers, Gary, with only 1 home run.
And he hits that one on the ground right to Beatty, and that's the 3rd out. Rarely gets the Mets 5 outs. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 2. Home 8th inning, Mets tied 2-2. With the Marlins, they'll have the top of the batting order coming up against right-hander Michael Peterson, who's having a breakout season for the Marlins.
He really is. With the Dodgers, before he came over here, throws the hardest out of anyone in that pen, about 98 miles an hour average.
A.J. Ewing's 0 for 3 tonight, a strikeout and 2 ground balls against Yuri Perez. And he swings and misses at the first changeup from Peterson, 0-1.
Pretty good spot, too. Down the way. Another big guy. These guys are all, it's a Brit.
Great Britain.
By way of Riverside Community College. Ewing fouls one away. Lindor and Bichette to follow. Blake Bacher worked a 1-2-3 7th for the Marlins. Mets have had just 3 hits tonight. They had only 2 hits last night. And after the 2 changeups, he comes with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and Ewing fouls it off.
I mean, like Iron Mike, straight over at the top. Iron Michael. That's right. Come on, check yourself, man.
And Ewing goes down swinging on a high heater. One down to the bottom of the 8th.
Well, you can see he did some damage early in the count, down, and then put him away with that pitch. Shoulder high.
So now Francisco Lindor, who's base hit to right field, tied the game in the 6th. Chasing home Alvarez from second. And that fastball caught the corner. Lindor does not challenge.
That's a close one. That was close. Pitcher got the call.
Each team has one challenge remaining. And you can't take them with you. Is that good changeup, and it's 0-2. When he takes a stretch, who does he remind you of? Kenley Jansen.
Oh, yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Lindor.
He separates his hands. He doesn't tuck that hip in 3 times, though. But yeah, the arm's going up over his head.
The guy 6'7". And Lindor able to foul off a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, Bichette waiting on deck.
Simple motion. Really gathers, takes that ball out of the glove early. I mean, doesn't use too much of his legs. He just has a grade A arm.
You want the change up here. No, went after him. You're ahead in the count. You can just throw that hard little down in the dirt and see if they'll go fishing.
Brooks Raley turned in the longest outing of his season. An inning and 2/3. Devin Williams getting ready for the 9th. Lindor watches fastball down, and it's 2-2.
Here's the Lindor's tying base hit to right field. A strong throw home. Alvarez just ahead of the tag.
7th pitch of the at bat, and Lindor got a piece of that fastball to stay in. The Nationals lost tonight, so the Marlins could move a game in front of Washington in the standings if they win tonight. Miami trying to win 4 straight after losing 12 in a row. Again, the 2-2. And it's popped straight up. Mack waiting for it to come down, sheds the mask, and has it in fair territory for the 2nd out. As Bob Murphy would have said, he could have hit it in the silo.
Yeah.
There are the wild card standings up to the moment. With the Nationals loss, Cardinals lost to the Cubs this afternoon in extra innings. Cubs are finally getting some offense from Alex Bregman. He had the go-ahead hit in the 10th today.
Yeah, the Cubs and the Yankees got a pretty good lead in that wild card in their respective leagues.
Here's Bichette, and a check swing foul. Bichette hit one up the middle that ticked off Edwards' glove for a base hit his last time up. Marlins 2 runs, 7 hits. The Mets 2 runs and 3 hits. We're in the 8th. Bichette fouls me back. 0-2. Another walk-off tonight. The Reds beat the Pirates 3-2. They got a run at the bottom of the 9th, and the Pirates could not turn a double play as the winning run scored. 3-2. Fouled away. Oh, by the way, we have an update on Connor Thomas. He was claimed on waivers by the A's. So the Braves will not be able to abuse him any further.
Well, I hope he finds success the rest of the season. Yes, that young man.
There was a trade today. The Tigers traded their catcher Jake Rogers to the Orioles. So there have been 2 moves made in the last couple of days, both for catchers. Logan O'Hoppe went to Texas, and that Jake Rogers goes to Baltimore.
Did they traded Rogers, but didn't they DFA him? Or
they had DFA
a day ago,
and then they traded him. I mean, the Orioles need some catching help because their 2 guys, Rutschman and Desai, were both hurt. Orioles still fancy themselves in it. 2.5 games back when the day began. 0-2 to Bichette. And he strokes one over the bag. That's a fair ball. It goes down the line, and Bichette heads for second. Conine digs it out, and Bichette stands at second base with an opposite field double. On an 0-2 pitch, and right over the first base bag for his second hit of the night.
Well, Bichette goes that way, and how you can give him the line, particularly with 2 strikes. This guy throwing very hard, and the no doubles, and that could cost him a base hit here.
So now another chance for Benj, who came up with a runner at third and less than 2 out. Couldn't get him in the 6th. Popped up to shallow left. And fouls one off back. 0-1. So Benj, who had the go-ahead hit in the day game yesterday, has a chance to pick up the go-ahead run in the 8th inning tonight. Lays off a back foot slider.
Well, here's his game winner in game 1. I got on top of that high ball, which he has the ability to do. And you wouldn't think with that swing that he has that he would be able to get on top of that high pitch, but he does.
Ball and 2 strikes to Carson.
Only outfielder playing shallower for the Marlins is left fielder Hernandez.
Well, it's a situation where you'd expect to play more shallow, right?
Right.
Go ahead, run at second. I mean, Marcy and Conine are playing well back on the warning track.
That's part of why Conine didn't throw out Alvarez and make closer plays. Too deep.
Exactly.
1-2 coming from Peterson. And Benj pops this one up in foul ground. Sanoha coming over and runs out of room.
It looked like a similar pitch we just showed you where he got the game winner in that first game of the doubleheader.
Yep, that one was 99.
Peterson 20 pitches deep into this 8th inning.
I'll take a little flare base hit the left personally.
1-2 coming to Benj. And Carson yanks that one foul. Down the in slider. Bichette at second with 2 down. Lopez keeping him close. And that was blocked by Mack.
What a block.
The chest protector right in front of it.
Wow. Kid's tough-nosed. flipped it over quick and just shoved his kind of torso in front of it.
That's a fine block right there.
Now the 7th pitch of the at bat will be coming to Benj. I think Carson fouls that one away, up out of the strike zone.
Good at bats this inning for the Mets.
Peterson retired the first 2, got ahead of Bichette 0-2, but Bo was able to poke a double. And now Benj giving him a battle. This will be the 8th pitch. And Benj lines one the other way for a base hit. Bichette around third, headed home. No, they stop him at third.
Yes, strike play. He'd have been out by a mile. He was the only outfielder, Ronnie, you mentioned it, that was playing shallow.
He was a dead duck. Another high pitch. This one he flicks to left field.
Yep, he has that ability to do that with his swing.
I just thought that Leeper would have fought this way, Keith, and I guess I sort of disagree with you. Robert Jr. hasn't played all year, hasn't played a lot, and I don't know. If you're in where the Mets are right now, that would have been a great time to take a chance.
I know Bichette is not fast, but with 2 out, you have to set him. My feeling.
Hey, I don't know if you have to, but I would have.
Here's Robert. And that one nips the outside corner, 0-1.
So really a fine at bat by Benj.
Robert is 0 for 3. It would look like an inning-ending grounder to third his last time up, and Paulie booted it for an error to give the Mets a lead. There goes Benj, and Robert pops it up in foul ground, and this one will sail out of play. Benj had a huge jump.
We'll take a look at the base hit again here now. Look at, he's out like by a mile. And it just, you can't send him.
Yeah.
Hit it to the wrong outfield.
It wasn't that good a throw. 0-2 to Robert. There goes Benj, and the pitch low and inside. So now the Mets have 2 in scoring position. Benj picks up his 17th steal of the year.
Well, there's the hit yesterday in Game 1 that will put the Mets ahead. It was the game winner. And here's the one that just happened a little bit further away.
1-2 to Robert. And he grounds one toward the hole. Through for a base hit. Bichette is in. Here comes Benj. The throw by Hernandez sails to the backstop. Robert down to second. Luis Robert comes through with a 2-run base hit to put the Mets in front 4-2 in the 8th. Luis Robert had been 3 for 28 since coming off the injured list before that big base hit, and the Mets on a 2-run lead.
A little breaking ball, Keith, down middle, and he just found the hole.
Well, the Marlins have not been holding runners on well. That's a 2-run single instead of a 1-run single. Not guarding the line with 2 outs with Bichette up on the double down the right field line, and the result is the Mets have capitalized and are in the driver's seat.
2-run single for Robert. He takes second on the throw. John King will come in to face the left-hand hitter. Call to the bullpen, brought to you by Nissan.
Door at Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
Mets have scored twice in the bottom of the 8th. Luis Robert, a 2-out, 2-run single to put the Mets in front. John King comes in. And with the lefty in the game, the Mets will send up Tyrone Taylor to bat for Brett Beatty.
Really sinker slider from King, facing lefties or righties.
Robert at second with 2 down. All of this happening after 2 out and nobody on. It was 0-2 to Bichette. He poked a double, and the Mets have been able to take advantage. And King misses up and away with his first breaking ball, ball 1. Carson Benj A base hit. Bichette held at third. Bench stole second, and Robert drove them both in. And Taylor chops one foul. Ball on a strike. Tyrone has been an outstanding pinch hitter in his career. 81 career pinch hit at bats. 333 with 5 home runs. Devin Williams ready in the bullpen. Luke Raley, pitcher of record, on the long side after going a season high inning and 2/3. Taylor takes that slider down. 2-1. Had some really good at bats in this inning.
I mean, even Lindor's out.
You know, that was an 8-pitch marathon.
Yep. One thing Taylor's done this year or through this hot streak that he never did really in his time with the Mets before that, getting the head out, Keith. Really.
Yes.
You know, I felt like he'd get jammed a lot because he was really trying to stay inside the ball. He's just standing on the plate and letting it fly.
That's why the power numbers have been higher.
And that one fouled at the plate. Got the bare hand of Joe Mack.
His hand's in front of him. Oh boy, right on his waist.
Yep, and it's going to get hit. Remember, Johnny Bench was the first catcher to put that throwing hand behind his back.
Well, before that, the gloves were such that usually they had their hand behind the glove.
Or even catching two-handed sometimes.
But then, you know, they came up with that more advanced hinged catcher's mitt. They could catch one-handed. And of course, Johnny had such big hands.
Yes, he did.
Chopped foul off his foot.
Second time he's fouled it off his foot. Running it off.
Hey, Honda Sportsnet comes your way after the postgame. Did you know the trading deadline is only 4 days away?
The Mets are off during the trading deadline.
That's right. Thank goodness.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we'd have some graphics for you.
It's a giant day in camp. So it says.
Redundant.
7th pitch coming to Taylor. And Tyrone fouls another one. Oh, he's going to be all bruised after this game.
Those puppies are barking.
Deserves a hit now. Oh, he's rubbing it. They always tell you not to rub it.
I think he got him on the shin.
You're excused with that, though. Those hurt. So it's not like the pitchers hurt you. You know, you never want to let the pitcher know you hurt. The ball, it's okay. The ball bites you.
He always smiles. Even when he's in pain, he smiles.
Yes. Joe Mack. It's a dangerous area at home plate right now.
Takes a licking. Keeps on ticking. This will be the 36th pitch of the inning for the Marlins bullpen. And the breaking ball caught the inside corner for strike 3 call. So Taylor winds up called out on strikes, but the Mets grab the lead on Roberts' hit 4-2 to the 9th.
Hurry in.
9th inning. Mets trying to win for the 4th time in their last 5 games. Devin Williams picked up a save yesterday afternoon, and for the 6th time this year, he'll pitch back-to-back days.
Well, this is really a chance for Williams to maybe start getting on a roll with this increased work. Of course, when you're a closer, going for a save back-to-back, that's a beautiful thing.
Jaron Young takes over at first base after Beatty left for a pinch hitter. Nolan McLean went the first 6 in the 3rd, allowed 2 runs, 6 hits. Brooks Raley an inning and 2/3, no runs, 1 hit. And now Williams trying to save it against 5, 6, and 7 in the Marlins batting order. Heriberto Hernandez leads off and takes a fastball outside. Hernandez 0 for 3, struck out twice and flied out. Griffin Conine on deck, and then Jacob Marcy for the Marlins in the ninth. Hernandez swings through a high fastball, and it's 1-1.
This fastball right by him.
Williams bidding for his 16th save.
And Hernandez hit that grand slam walk off in Miami. That was off Devin Williams.
And the change up, and he stopped the swing.
Oh, I thought he went.
Brendan Miller giving him a pass, and it's 3-1.
What do you think, Keith? No.
Niet. It's Russian for no. They do that.
And that missed ball 4, and so the Marlins will get the tying run to bat.
It's
challenged
close.
that pitch.
It's close.
Alvarez did not catch it, but it was a strike.
Alvarez.
How about that?
Alvarez just did not do a good job framing that at all. Didn't catch it. No, he got the corner.
He's already been charged with a pass ball tonight. Didn't catch one that caught the edge of the plate that time. So that gets the count to 3-2. Griffin Conine, the on-deck batter. And Hernandez drills one down the line, just foul. Didn't miss an extra base hit by much. Hernandez has 16 extra base hits in July. That's the most of anybody in the major leagues, and he nearly had a 17.
Did the ball boy make this play? It was a bullet.
Just remember this Marlin team, they swept the Phillies. The last 2 wins will come from behind late.
And that's ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Hernandez will bring the tying run to bat. Yesterday, the Marlins were down 6-0 to the Phillies. And they came back to win 8-6. Conine had the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning of that game. Now he comes to bat as the tying run in the 9th. And takes a changeup for a strike, 0-1.
Conine, of course, had the big hit in yesterday's game.
What are you, Keith?
What?
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Is that what he says?
Keith usually does. Repeats what I just said.
Oh, you said, oh, geez, sorry about that.
Did Ronnie pull a Keith?
Well, I was trying to do a double. I was listening to Keith talk on Talkback and you at the same time.
It's hard to do.
I missed what you were saying.
That's like stereo. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Conine.
I mean, I feel like I'm listening to the Cars record, moving in stereo.
I say, I feel okay now. You know?
Talkback.
You're not perfect.
Far from it.
None of us is. Williams ahead 1-2. Struck him out. Went upstairs with the fastball. 1 down in the 9th. Third time Conine's been struck out tonight.
Not even in the strike zone. Went out chased. A little bit tardy.
So now Jacob Marcy has already tied this game once with a home run. Swung at a 3-0 pitch in the 7th and hit his 6th home run of the season. And he swings at the first pitch this time and pops it foul out of play.
Well, here's the home run that tied it. It was a 3-0 count. And that denied McLean a W.
McLean gave him a couple of solo home runs, the only runs he allowed tonight. Change up away, a ball and a strike. Young playing behind the runner at first. You don't have to keep the double play in order, but you do have a left-hand hitter out. And Marcy with a check swing foul, and it's 1-2. Javier Sanoja is the on-deck batter. He'll be batting for the first time in the game. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night. It'll be on Pix 11. And we think Freddie Peralta's going to pitch, but we really don't know. 1-2 coming. That's too high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Everything is in flux between now and Monday at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Zach Thornton will pitch Saturday.
Book it.
That's not going to change. 2-2. Got it with a changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts for Williams. 2-man down.
Very nice. Good work by Williams with the fastball, setting up Marcy for the change. Here's a grip. Airbender. 3/4. Never gets there.
So now Javier Sanoja will bat for the first time in the game. Came in defensively to play third base. Marlins down to their final out. And Sanoja pops it up. Simeon waits for it. And the ball game is over. Devin Williams finishes it off. Luis Robert has the go-ahead hit in the 8th. And the Mets have now won 4 of their last 5 as they defeat the Marlins tonight 4-2.
Well, once again, Benj is in the middle of things. Got a big hit to left field in that 2-run 8th inning. Mets got a gift run in the 2-run 6th. McLean threw a wonderful game. Robert right there gets the big 2-out RBI, 2 RBIs, the game winner. And the Mets, the Marlins have always given them trouble, a thorn in their side. They get the first win of the series.
You know, the Mets are starting to get on a little streak of wins here because they've gotten outstanding pitching, deep pitching from their starters. They've allowed one of the strengths of their team, their bullpen, to come in and clean up things.
Mets have allowed just 8 runs in their last 4 games. Tonight's win is brought to you by Moomoo. Create a Moomoo account and join Winner's Rush, where every Mets win is your chance to win, too. Terms and conditions apply. Moomoo Financial Inc. member FINRA, SIPC. The game summary. Rosarelli gets 5 outs for his 5th win. Luis Robert with the go-ahead hit on the bottom of the 8th, as the Mets have now won 4 of their last 5. The Amazing Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Cass Institute for Women's Health for every Mets win. For more information, visit northwell.edu/cats. The total contribution so far this season is $117,500. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. By Prevagen. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Final score tonight: the Mets 4, the Marlins 2. Game 2 of this series on Pix 11 tomorrow night. 6:30 coverage, 7:10 first pitch. Freddie Peralta, we think, against Jansen Junk. Back on SNY Saturday afternoon. Don't forget early coverage for the 1986 40th anniversary ceremony. Starts at 2:30. Zach Thornton will be on the mound. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. After this break, Mercedes-Benz post-game live with Gary Apple and Todd Zeal.